Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk about some numbers that the US Mint has released, talking about their gold and silver sales. Now, obviously, as you can see, I do have a few American Silver Eagles here. I do like the look of them. I haven't been buying as much lately just because, as we all know, the premiums have been very high on them, so I've been picking up other silver. And, I do have one piece of American gold here, which is the Gold Eagle. I like the design of it, especially the Type 2 over the Type 1. I do wish that I'd, be able to pick up more. But living up in Canada, these Gold Eagles are taxed a little bit more up here for Canadians. So, if I do want to buy another Gold Eagle, I am going to have to just go down to the States, jump down to either Buffalo, Detroit, wherever, and maybe pick up a coin or two and avoid the extra tax that's levied on it up here. But today I want to talk about the numbers that the U.S. Mint has released, talking about the first quarter of the year and comparing it to last year. And the silver has not been doing quite as well as gold. We did see a big first month from silver, but then it's kind of tapered off a little bit. Gold has fared a bit better. Obviously, you'll see the title of the article I'm going to talk about in a second. It's talking about gold being at a 23-year high for the demand. So the Gold Eagles do not seem to be facing the same problems as the Silver Eagles go as far as the sales figures. But yeah, I have heard from people on both sides saying that they're continuing to buy both. They've stopped buying both the gold and the silver, or some people are saying I'm still buying the gold and looking for sales on silver. There are people all over the map, but obviously from these numbers we do see that the gold is still popular. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump onto the computer and go over this article. All right, so this is the article here. It's on kitco.com, and the title is U.S. Mint sees strongest gold bullion demand in 23 years, sells 426,000 ounces in Q1. Just continuing on down here, it says rising inflation and safe haven demand resulted in extraordinary demand for physical gold in March, capping off the best start to the year in more than 2 decades. And we did see, obviously, that the price of gold did go up quite a bit when everything started to happen over in Russia and Ukraine when the invasion started. So it did go up, and then we have seen it obviously, go right back down. So it's, it's stabilized a bit. It didn't keep going up. It didn't crash way down or anything like that. We did see a spike, and then, it level off and kind of go down a little bit. So, I am a little bit surprised that it is so high, because I would think that more people would be buying when the price is low. I didn't expect it to be such a high demand and such a big amount here where it's like a 73% increase. So now for me, I think that in a month where gold was very low, like if it crashed or if there was a huge dip, that sales would go up because it would be a cheaper price. But it always seems to be the inverse. You know what I mean? Whenever there's a huge increase or a huge spike, that's when people seem to be jumping on the bandwagon. You always hear the adage of buying low and selling high. No one ever seems to follow that when it comes to at least with the physical precious metals. People seem to always jump in when it's going up, and they get freaked out a little bit if there's a little bit of a dip, and then they start selling it off. And March ended a solid quarter for bullion demand. The U.S. Mint sold 426,500 ounces of gold between January and March, which is up 3.5% from the first quarter of 2021. Similar to its monthly, this was the Mint's best quarter in 23 years. And then down here they're talking about 2 factors that might have driven the demand for the physical precious metals. They're saying that inflation and Russia's war with Ukraine, as an analysis focusing a lot of the attention on Europe's economy as the region faces rising consumer prices and the growing threat that Russia could weaponize its energy commodities as it faces growing sanctions against Western nations. And they do have some silver figures here. It says silver demand, while seeing a solid start to the year, is down compared to last year's unprecedented start. The data from the U.S. Mint shows more than 7.5 million ounces of silver were sold in the first quarter of last year, down 37% from the first quarter of 2021. Looking at monthly sales, the U.S. Mint sold 1.8 million ounces, and that's down 73% from last year. It says bullion orders remain strong even with the lack of silver material available. Demand should remain steady for the balance of 2020, but physical metals could be the wild card as we see higher premiums and longer delivery times. So there's a little bit left in this article. I will leave a link in the description. I always do leave a link when I talk about these articles. So if you do want to read the entire thing, you can go ahead. As I did skip over a little bit at the end there, but you know, the main points I touched on in this article. But yeah, like I said, as always, I will leave a link in the description. So there you go. That was the article that I wanted to show you there. And I have talked with a bunch of people in the comments who have said that they are completely done with the Silver Eagles. And I have talked with people that say they don't care how expensive it is. That is the silver that they're buying. They, you know, obviously they concede that the premiums are still high on it, but it's still the silver that they love, and it's still the silver that they're going to buy, which I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. If that's the silver you want, go ahead and pick it up. It's, you know, it's your stack, it's your money. But it does show here that the U.S. Mint has been seeing some slowing numbers with the silver. As I said, there was a big boom at the beginning of the year in January, and since then it's kind of tapered off. And I don't think it's the biggest contributing factor, but there are a lot of people that don't like that Type 2 Eagle. I'm one of them. I prefer the Type 1 over the Type 2, but if you're giving me a Type 2 Eagle at the same price as a Britannia, I'll buy an entire tube of them. I don't care too much, or I don't hate the design that much that I wouldn't, you know, I would pass up a deal on the Eagles or something like that. But there are quite a lot of people whose hatred of that Type 2 might be making their decisions for them for their silver, and they're bypassing the Eagles. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. As I said, I have talked with a bunch of people in the comments before, previously, when talking about these numbers, because I did one on silver for January and February, and there was complete opposites there. So January was way up and February was down quite a bit, and yeah, this seems to be a trend with silver, while gold seems to be going up. So I would like to hear if you are you know, picking up any more gold Eagles or even some gold Buffaloes. That's one thing that I would like to see with the Buffaloes is the fractional size. I think they went fractional in 2008. I believe that was the only year. And if you were to go back and look for some of them now on some of the secondary sites, they do carry a heavy premium on them. So I think it would be cool if they, instead of bringing back the Morgans, which nobody wanted, the Morgan and Peace dollars, everyone wanted just that 2021, where it was the 100th anniversary and it made sense to make these coins. Everyone just wanted to keep it as that. Now, we all know that they are canceled for 2022. They're not going to be making them, but they plan to. And even in the statement where they said they were canceling the 2022 Morgans, they said, you know, we're going to be raring to go in 2023 for these coins. So they seem dead set on continuing the series. But I think it would be interesting if they focused on the Buffalo and made some fractional Buffalo sizes and made that a continuous thing yearly, because I think they would have a lot more interest in that, especially with Canadian customers, with it being that pure, you know, 24 karat. We won't get taxed on it up here, so a lot more people would be buying the fractional Buffaloes than the fractional Eagles. But yeah, like I said, that is it for today's video. Of course, I would like to hear from you in the comments, but yeah, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.